Milestone in your life that you should enjoy, and you should celebrate what you've done so far and be excited about whatever the future holds.
And their performance post-graduation is the most important telling sign of how a student has benefited from the leadership minor, according to John Carlin. John Carlin's advice to graduating seniors is that we continue learning. This is really the end of the beginning. This is only the beginning of our education for us. We're very much beginners, and we need to remember that, not thinking, oh, I've got my degree, I'm gonna take off, I've finished somehow, and then I can stop learning. No, the learning has just begun. That's really what college is it's just an opportunity to learn how to learn, to build a foundation of education that we're going to take into our careers and have a mind that's able to think critically about different issues, challenge ourselves first and ask powerful questions of ourselves and others, and bring about a learning experience that makes us a wholesome individual, and somehow we can communicate that to any sphere of influence or organization we're a part of.
That's huge. You're not all waiting to be the CEO of some company, you waiting for that director title or whatever it is. No, you're going to lead without the title. You can lead in any of those environments that you're in. We have a more heightened celebration of it. You get to put the cap and gown on,
Right.
but it's just another phase of your life. Just moving into another exciting adventure is the way I look at it. Part of the journey. Don't be afraid of the really powerful question.
We just had a student who had a phone interview, and they said for her to bring questions, and she brought questions about how does your company, you say overall your company does things for the community, but how do you do that in an individual location or something? So by asking that question, she truly cared about the answer to that, but she was also impressing those people that were interviewing her, because she was saying that she holds that as a value and it's important enough to ask. So I would use these experiences, and if you feel strongly about something, feel free to interview your employer. I mean, at the appropriate time, but don't be afraid to ask questions when you're interviewing, and you should try to find a good culture. I know money's higher on the priority list when interviewing and things like that, but if you're not going to find a good environment to work in, then you're not going to enjoy it. When I went through the program, there was nothing called adaptive leadership. I didn't know what that was. We hadn't learned about that. And I think in my very first job when I graduated, I was trying to exercise adaptive leadership. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the terms were. I didn't know what I was doing. But when I look back on that, what I see was that I was trying to take the time to diagnose the situation and to try to plan an intervention as opposed to just stepping in real quickly.
Right.
And so that was one of the biggest challenges, was that I didn't have that language, I didn't have that knowledge, I didn't have that patience to understand that it was this big adaptive challenge. And I was trying to solve these challenges on my own without any allies or anything like that. And so I think that was my biggest challenge, was figuring out how to navigate that, and I obviously didn't do a very good job because I decided to give up on that challenge and move elsewhere. But I think if I would have had this language and been patient with the process of adaptive leadership, that I could have made a lot of change. One of the concerns is, how am I going to address this challenge when I only have a semester?
Right.
And I resonate with that. I know there's things that you can do to take steps towards making progress in that challenge, but adaptive leadership, exercising that, can take years to really make the kind of change that you want. And I don't even know if it ever finishes. I don't know if you ever solve your challenge, because once you get to that point, you want to push yourself even farther to continue to develop that or make it better for the next person.
When you're getting ready to do the next thing and walk away from Kansas State University or Mississippi State University, is to really take time and reflect on the meaningful components of it, and not focus in on, this is what I wish I would have done. Those days are over with. You can be nostalgic as you want to, but it's not going to get you anywhere. You need to reflect and look back, but it needs to be from a meaningful standpoint.
My biggest piece of advice would be, if you're scared to do something, just do it scared. You gotta try it. You gotta take those risks. And then to remember who you are at your core. And if people are going to ask you to change who you are at your core, then that should cause some red flags. I'd hope you look back at that and think, gosh, am I still developing into this knowledgeable, ethical, caring, inclusive person, or have I stopped? And why have I stopped? Travel, and go places that other people aren't going. And get off of the resorts. By God, get out of the resorts and go meet the people in the communities where it's appropriate, where it's safe. I don't think you can really get a sense of the place until you get to work alongside people that live there.
Continue self-reflection. Everything you need to know is right here in your heart, and if you listen to it, you won't go wrong.